let's get right into it. I'm so excited for this. So yeah. Is it? Well, okay. I'm so awkward. Hi guys. So I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. I think I've already done this. You know what? Do whatever you will. Please subscribe to my channel. If you are a new person who's watching for the first time, please subscribe. Please, I would really appreciate that. And like this video, share it with your friends, and please leave a comment as well. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to be doing a Bible study session, but we're not going to be using any particular structure like the SOAP method or the other one. Oh, I forgot. But we're not going to be doing that today. I'm just going to be reading a particular chapter or passage from the Bible, and then this is what I got from the devotion that I had when I was spending time with God. You know, this is what I learned. So I'm just going to be sharing some of these things with you guys. And oh guys, the Bible is such an interesting book. Right? Can I just also mention that it's so dramatic? There's a lot of drama that is happening everywhere, but we're not there today. Okay, so this is Mark 9 verses 14 to 29. This is when Jesus is healing a demon-possessed boy. So his father approaches Jesus and is like, "Master, my son is possessed by this demon, please heal him," and everything, you know. So he explains that in chapter 8 verse 18 says, "And wheresoever he taketh him," this is the demon, "he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth." This is King James Version. "And pineth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not." The disciples could not cast out the demon. "And Jesus answered," this is very important, guys. "He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me." So I think Jesus here is just wary of the people's unbelief. Like the disciples weren't able to cast out the demons because they did not have the faith. They didn't think they had the capacity to do so. And whereas Jesus was with them and he had the power to cast out the demon. So now in 20 it said, "And they brought him unto him, brought the baby, the child, to Jesus. And when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came unto him?" This is Jesus. "And he said of a child. So this boy was possessed from a young age." Oh, guys, this boy was possessed from a young age. And yeah, 22. "And oftentimes it had cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Firstly, I'm just so frustrated because why is this demon doing this to this boy? This is like horrible. It's so horrible. Like you can tell that it wanted him dead. It wanted to destroy him, throwing him into the fire, and him not even dying but having to suffer through the pain, throwing him inside water, and him not dying, still suffering through the pain because it does not take the pain away, especially if you don't die. Right? So he had to live through it. This is painful, but here what strikes me is how this man says, "If you can heal my son, please do it. If you can." Like you're saying that to God. You're saying that to, like, it's sort of like, to me it sounds as though he does not believe in the power that Jesus has to heal his son. That's why he's saying, "If you can," you know, if you can. Otherwise, had he believed that Jesus has the power or had the power to heal his son, would have asked, "If you will, you know, if you are willing, because I believe that you have the power to do so, But if you are willing, not my will, but let your will happen. If you will to help my son. But here he's saying if you can. So it's sort of like questioning the power that Jesus has. Just Jesus has. Does he really have the power, the capacity to heal my son? It feels as though Jesus is his last hope at this moment that he is in. Jesus said unto him, if thou can believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. So Jesus is somewhat responding the same way that the man is coming towards him. That if this man is going to ask, if you can heal my son, now Jesus would also ask, if you can believe, your son will be healed. Yeah, so what strikes me here it's how he actually acknowledges that, Lord, I have unbelief, please help my unbelief. But he's willing to believe for his son, right? And unbelief means that you do not have faith, and without faith it's impossible to please God. And I think that's why Jesus said you have to believe first. For me to heal your son, you have to believe first. And that man understood that, the father, he understood that, and hence he was willing to take the first step at believing, because that would then bring healing to his son. So he was not even willing or wanting to believe for himself, but he wanted to believe because he desperately needed healing for his son. So I think even with us men, desperate times, or when we're in the face of adversity, we just need to learn how to surrender. And I'm not saying that we should only surrender when we are facing difficult situations, but all the time we should surrender. But when you are in the face of adversity, you should surrender and just be like, you know what, Jesus, I actually admit that I do not have belief. Because we Christians, we sort of like have this tendency of putting on a facade, a show, pretending like everything is okay, pretending like I have everything figured out. I have faith, I believe, I this, I that, my relationship with God is growing, it's great, it's beautiful and whatnot. There's actually moments where you realize that, man, I have so much unbelief, because Jesus would be doing all these things for you and you'd be happy and whatnot. But then when you're faced with that one adversity or those things, those challenges that you keep facing in your life, and you just deserve everything that Jesus has said. 25. When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto it, thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of it, and enter no more into him. All it requires for God to work in us, for him to demonstrate his power, it's faith as small as a mustard seed, right? And because this man was willing to take a step of faith, he said, I believe, but he also acknowledged that he has unbelief in his heart. But that little faith that he had in Jesus, because I'm pretty sure he tried everything else, but it didn't work. And Jesus was his last hope. But Jesus was merciful, and then he healed his son. He casted the demon out. And then people came running, because standing Dabamos, we like news, we like to see and 26. Another problem that I had with these people. And the spirit cried and rent him sore and came out of him. I hate the spirit. And he was as one dead, in so much that many said, he is dead. I don't know what to say. He is dead. Like, are you serious? Jesus had literally that same moment, he had just casted out a demon out of this boy. You have the audacity to say that this boy is dead right after Jesus casted out the demon. What's the whole point? Why do you think Jesus did it? Did he do it to show off, or just for fun, or what? I mean, obviously, if he's capable of doing that, regardless of the condition that the boy was in, whether dead, whether sleeping or whatever, he was gonna wake up, because Jesus, in whatever that he does it because there's a purpose. He wouldn't just do this just for fun, for the fun of it, casting out a demon and then the boy dying, because it defeats the whole purpose of him saving the boy. So those people, they've been experiencing Jesus like from the first chapter, We've been experiencing him healing people, delivering people, preaching, miracles, signs and wonders. They experienced all these things and saw him doing all these things, waking people from the dead. But this one moment, just after, it just proves how much or the amount of unbelief that we have in our hearts. Man, we're just so quick to think, it's over with this person, or it's over with me, because we sort of like sometimes we relate to God based on our human understanding. We put him to our level. So disappointing. And I even look at them and I judge them, right? I judge them. But I think if I were to put myself in their shoes, I would probably behave the same way. I would probably react the same way to that incident or that situation that was happening there. So I think there's just a lot of work that the Lord still wants to do in our lives, and there's a lot of self-reflection that we should do as well, and think about the unbelief that we have. Think about it and the roots of it, because honestly, when you come to think of it, we are so, well, I'm speaking about myself. Sometimes I am just so quick to lose faith because I'm put in a difficult situation. I'm like, why am I in this situation? I'm not supposed to be here. I don't deserve to be here and whatnot. The Bible says that we will suffer adversity, we will suffer, will encounter battles or whatnot, all these difficult situations, but to take heart because he has overcome, right? So us being Christians does not equate to the absence of troubles, turbulence, difficult situations. They're still going to be there, but we just need to stay put and remember all the things that God has done for us, all the things that he has moved us from, all the difficult situations that he has conquered, the victories. Because honestly guys, I think when I'm in the face of adversity, I tend to forget what God has done for me and how far he's brought me. So yeah, and then I continue in 27. This after they said he is dead. Then Jesus held him by the hand, took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, why would we not cast him out? And this is important, guys. This is from Jesus, not me. Okay? And he said unto them, this kind come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. By prayer and fasting. So I just want to emphasize the importance of fasting, the importance of praying. Sometimes I think praying is good. Praying without fasting is okay. You can pray every day without having fasted and whatnot. It's okay. You have to do that. Like it's a must. Fasting is on another level. It's on another level, but I don't want to talk about fasting today, but just it's very important that you fast. It's very important because indeed some demons cannot be cast out until you fast and pray. That's when you will conquer. We are so imperfect. We're such imperfect beings, and we have so many flaws. We have so many shortcomings, so much unbelief. And the fact that he still loves us regardless of all those things beats me. Like, it's so insane. It's too great for me to understand, honestly. But yeah, that's that. So this was my first Bible study video. I hope I did well. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. If I did well, if I didn't do well, we also accept constructive criticism because it's gonna help us in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from the word of the Lord as much as I did, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed filming it as well. From me, it's a bye. bye. I will see you on my next one. See, I keep my promises. I said I'll film a video and post it this week, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. See you next week.